Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Stephen Will here, ready to talk Detroit Lions football game day episode. Pumped up, ready to go. Before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't for some crazy reason, and think about becoming a member because Will has it. I haven't got it yet. Still early in the day, but I got an Isaac Tesla jersey that will be here. Said it's supposed to be here today. If not, I think the latest tomorrow would be tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know when we're gonna give it away, Steve. But I would imagine real soon because I said, hey, when it gets here, it's gonna be fairly quick. So I got to be a member to get that. But game day episode, Steve. Where the heck are we going? Where are we starting? Because I got some things on my mind.
I guess we'll start with the injury report. This was as of yesterday, so a lot of stuff could have changed. At the time we're recording, we don't have the up-to-date injury report. A lot could change, but the big one on here that I see is Taylor Decker. No practice on Wednesday, no practice on Thursday. Haven't heard or seen anything about him practicing on today, Friday, with the game looming right around the corner. I feel like his status is, at a minimum, questionable, but if he doesn't play, it's not good. I don't think it's good just because we already have some questions amongst the offensive line. So we'll have to roll with the punches and see what happens there. Hopefully he ends up playing, though.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. Need him.
Yeah, I don't think Giovanni Manu is ready to step into a starting left tackle role right now. So that was kind of the name that was mentioned yesterday. That's a concern. We'll probably have to address that later on down the road if this Taylor Decker injury thing is going to be something that hinders him for the next 15 weeks. Might need to figure out another plan, Will. But how are you feeling going into this game, first and foremost?
Steve, there was a football game last night. I felt like it was an important football game. I made mention of that. Washington Commanders, Green Bay Packers. And after watching that football game, I feel great. I got a warm and fuzzy because what that football game told me was it wasn't as much as the Detroit Lions are bad as it is maybe the Green Bay Packers defense is special. Right, special. So that said, I'm looking forward to get a true gauge of what the Detroit Lions are against the Chicago Bears this coming Sunday. I have a lot more confidence. Not that I didn't expect us to have some success, but after I watched the Washington Commanders struggle, very similar to what the Detroit Lions did, even with Jaden Daniels being as mobile as he is, he was still having a hard time getting away from those Green Bay Packers. Man, Steve, I gotta think those Green Bay Packers are just special, man. So we've moved on from them. We'll see them again when the time comes. We'll get into those guys, but for those reasons, I am highly optimistic, and I have big expectations for the Detroit Lions going into this Sunday new rivalry game between Dan Campbell and the Chicago Bears coach.
Evan Fox, if you know who that is, he's on the Pat McAfee show, known Detroit Lions fan. He tweeted something out a little bit ago, and I feel like it fits just absolutely perfectly with what you were saying. This is what he tweeted out. There's two types of Lions fans, all right? You can either look at it and be doom and gloom that the Packers have a really good football team, or you can look at it and say, well, maybe that's why the Lions struggled because the Packers have such a good football team. There's two. Which side do you want to sit on there? It's a bus. It's divided. You're either negative or you're looking at this as maybe the Packers are just one of the better teams in the NFL, and we struggled against them in a home opener, but we have plenty of time to get some stuff figured out. New game. We're going against the Chicago Bears, a Bears team that I feel like struggled from a lot of standpoints in their game on Monday night against the Vikings. I don't feel like they were overwhelmingly impressive. I feel like this is a bad time for a Bears team to be coming into Ford Field on Sunday, where our team's pissed off, don't like how it happened. Seems like everyone's been a little agitated in some press conferences. Everyone's just ready to play some football. So we'll get to some predictions at the end of the show, Will. But I look at the Lions team and I just think they're looking to respond. They don't like how last week went. Bad taste in their mouth. Lost two real games in a row going back to last year in the playoffs, something that we don't see too often. So I think it's going to be an absolute bloodbath on Sunday afternoon, William. But I'm excited. I can't wait for the Bears to come to town.
No, I agree, Steve. So that said, what do you think it's going to take for us to have success against the Chicago Bears? What needs to happen? Who needs to play well? I know we did an episode talking about certain players, but getting into the game day stuff now, what do you think we need to do to get it done?
Block better. That's literally like when we're talking offensive struggles, blocking was a factor in the run game and the pass game. Got to block better. The number 2.2 is how many yards per carry our running backs averaged. Not acceptable. Absolutely not acceptable for a Detroit Lions team that has the best running back duo in the entire NFL. We got to be able to get more push up front and be able to get more than 2.2 yards per carry. That is a godly low number. It's got to come up. We got to be able to run the football first and foremost. Anytime you can do that, you open up your offense completely. You can do so much other stuff. You can get cute with some play action. You can do so many other things. But the first thing you got to be able to do is run the football well. That's where I'm looking to get better.
I agree with you. And I already said it before. I'll say it again if you missed the previous podcast. Jordan Mason was averaging for 4.5 yards a carry against the Chicago Bears. I expect Jahmyr Gibbs to be averaging 63 yards a carry. You know what I mean? I'm saying? No, seriousness though. I'm expecting Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to have success. Nothing against Jordan Mason. I like him. I like his game. I think that he's a solid running back in the NFL. But I believe that Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are special. And when you're special, you should be better. So I know it starts up front. I'm expecting those guys to get the job done. Coach Morton told us, he said, hey, listen, all the problems are solved in the world now. No blocks will be missed on Sunday. And obviously that's not a real thing, but I do think the boys are going to be inspired. I think they're going to be locked in. I think the dogs are going to be hungry, Steve. I think they're going to be ready to hunt, ready to eat. So for that reason, yeah, we're going to run the shit out of the football on Sunday.
Is that your biggest concern offensively going into this Bears game, is the ability to run the ball?
Steve, being flat out honest, you know how I am. We text back and forth during the football games. We talk about games before we get on these episodes. It's very rare, and I can't even think of a time off the top of my head that I'm in panic mode. It's very rare that you hear from me, oh my God, the world's about to end, yada, yada, yada. Steve, if we can't run the football after Minnesota was able to run the football, I'm going to be really uncomfortable. So, yeah, I do think that it's very important, pivotal. If we can't run that football and the team that had them before showed that they could, we're going to have to take a deep look at some stuff.
I'm with you. That's literally probably what I'm going to be watching, is how explosive is our run game. Can we at least get 4 to 5 yards per carry on average? I think that's absolutely critical. What is your biggest concern defensively for the Lions?
Defensively, I want to see that secondary be a little bit more sticky. I didn't like what I saw, and I know we were up against it in Green Bay with the energy and the scheme. Coach got a little bit cute in the beginning with the dropping back of defensive ends and trying some stuff early. I get it. But the bottom line was they just weren't sticky enough to me. I'm expecting them to play better. I'm interested to see what's going on with TA. Does he play the full game? Where is he lining up? Because the bottom line, that groin that they're talking about, he's had some nagging injuries from training camp. I think we have a deep enough secondary to let him get healthy if it's an issue. He was a full participant in practice. If he's out there, I'm going to assume that he's ready to go. But if he does have something going on, I say, hey, put a Meek out there, put Rocky Sin out there, put Avonte Maddox out there. Let's let the boys take care of some business and let TA get healthy, because if the reason why he isn't performing to the level that everybody was talking about through training camp is because he's a little bit banged up, let's just let him get healthy, man, instead of letting this thing nag on for the rest of the season. But it seems like he's going to be out there. If he is, I'm just expecting those guys to be a little bit more sticky. Steve, what are you thinking about is a worry for you defensively?
Yeah, I want to just double check where he was on the injury report just to get the facts straight. Full practice last 2 days. So that tells me, hey, if you're full practice, you're full health. And I know that that's not the exact case. You're banged up dealing with some stuff, but you're practicing, you should be playing. Well, what concerns me defensively is our pass rush. Our pass rush will always concern me until I'm proven wrong. All right. We have an elite pass rusher in Aiden Hutchinson He's a guy that gets game plan for. Ben Johnson, I can guarantee you, has mentioned Aiden Hutchinson's name once or twice this week in meetings, practices. They're going to know where 97 is at all times. I expect the same thing that the Green Bay did. It's a copycat league, right? Will, what are the Chicago Bears going to do? Double, triple team, chip them. They're going to try their best to not let Aiden Hutchinson be a problem when it's third down or known pass rushes. What's that entail? I said it the other day. Someone else has to start winning one-on-ones at a higher rate to change that plans for teams going forward. Tyleik Williams, DJ Reader, Marcus Davenport, Al-Qadim Muhammad, who's been talked about a lot in press conferences by Dan Campbell, that he's going to get some more reps. Someone has to elevate their game and make an offensive coach change their game plan for how they're going to block, and that will open the door for Aiden Hutchinson. But until that happens, I expect our defensive line is going to be the same. So eyes will be on Hutch, but my other set of eyes that I'm going to try to have this week is going to be on those other three guys on the defensive line. Secondary stuff is also a concern because I heard all training camp from Jared Goff and offensive players talking about how the communication's been perfect. Yeah, everyone's strappy in coverage. No one's getting open. Not exactly what I saw against Green Bay. So, and I said, Green Bay, I don't feel like their wide receivers were the best in the league. I feel like the Chicago Bears have a better wide receiving core, just looking at their depth chart. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Alamid Zacchaeus. They got a young tight end that we were pretty high on in Colston Loveland, so they're going to be running a lot of 12 personnel. They drafted a young kid, Luther Burden, who we talked about, who's a stud. Like, they have some guys who can catch footballs. DeAndre Swift, love him or hate him, he's still an athletic freak. I mean, I know he's a little older than when he was here in Detroit, so he might have dropped off a little bit, but he's still a serviceable running back when healthy. So they got a good set of offensive players. And then Caleb Williams, mobile quarterback. He can move. He can extend plays. Defense is going to have their hands full in every aspect, Will, but where it starts for me is pass rush. I know we're going to be stout against the run. The Lions have prided themselves on stopping the run first. We're very, very solid against that. Never had any questions about it. It's all the other stuff. Can we get a pass rush on known passing situations? Is the communication on the back end going to be fixed from last week? Those are my two concerns.
I like it, Steve. But what I think, and I hope I don't break your little heart, but what I think we have to come to terms with is Coach Shep, Brad Holmes, and Coach Campbell have decided that they're going to do this thing their way. They're not going to create pass rush by the orthodox ways of the NFL. They're not looking to use the bendy, speedy guys to rush the edges. They've decided that they're going to crush the pocket. And that's all they talk about. Every press conference I hear it. Hey, we're going to have our guys crush the middle of that pocket. Marcus Davenport's going to shut the back door. Aiden's going to be doing this thing. So when they double and triple team Aiden, those guys in the middle have to be crushing that pocket, have to be creating a rush up the middle or putting that guy in front of them in that QB's lap, or it's just not going to be there. So I think those guys are content with pressures over sacks because they believe pressures can cause negative plays and 3 and outs. I think we've just decided we're not a team that's going to be collectively getting a bunch of sacks. And then outside of that, we'll be blitzing linebackers and doing other stuff. But for those that think of, and I'm not saying you, Steve, a lot of people in the comments say it, though. Those that are thinking about pass rush being the guy who's pinning his ears back and just getting after the quarterback around the corner, I don't think that's what the Detroit Lions are going to be for a long time because that's not our scheme. That's not what we're about. So kind of change your mindset looking at it this Sunday. Look for those guys in the interior, crushing the pocket from the middle, and then look how we combat Aiden being double and triple team. Because I know a lot of times they like to send linebackers to that area where Aiden is because you're so fixated on trying to chip him and deal with him. Sometimes there's little gaps that open up for stunts and blitzes that happen. That's what I'm looking for out of Coach Shep today or Sunday. I apologize. I'm getting excited, getting ahead of myself. I'm expecting that Sunday. I'm expecting where Aiden is getting chipped and dealt with, us to be exploiting that because while those guys are thinking about Aiden, there's going to be some opportunities.
Yeah, I'm with you. Where do you want to go next? Well, we've talked about our concerns. This isn't a doom and gloom show. We have some concerns on offense, concerns on defense. Where do you think the Lions will thrive? Where do you think that we have a massive advantage at over the Chicago Bears?
Mindset. That's where it starts. Mindset. I haven't seen anything out of the Chicago Bears to show that they have the tough, gritty mentality that the Detroit Lions have. I think we can just outwill them. I think we probably outprepared them through the week. I think that every Detroit Lions player wants it more than the Chicago Bears. Now, I think their coach wants it real bad. I'm not going to say that every coach wants it more than their coach wants it because I know how he is about losing, but you can't turn players into people that they aren't. We've drafted players to be a certain type of way because they have certain mentalities. Luther Burden didn't want to go to practice, Steve. Luther Burden was standing there talking about, hey, coach, we're talking about practice. He was pure Allen Iverson up there. Their mindset and how they've drafted is just different than the Detroit Lions. Not to say that they can't have success, but they have different groups of guys. They have different mentalities collectively. So for that reason, I'm going to start with the mindset. I'm going to start with our quarterback, Jared Goff, who is a guy who loves to find a reason to have a chip on his shoulder. I think that offense is going to come out and show that they're still one of the better offenses in the NFL. I think we're going to light it up, Steve. I think Coach Mo is going to be ready to throw the book at the Chicago Bears because we know that their coach is going to have a trick play up his sleeve or 2 or 3 or 7. I would be very surprised if he doesn't pull a rabbit out of the hat just to remind Detroit Lions fans who he is and what he's about. So, hey, Coach Mo, pull something out, man, and not only be dominant in the game, winning the line of scrimmage, running the football, taking shots down the field. Show them that we can do what they like to do as well. That's what I'm expecting, Steve. I'm expecting this offense to come out hungry and ready to put some points on the board and get after it.
Well, I can almost guarantee Ben Johnson's going to draw something up for some type of trick play. Like I'd be willing to bet the house on it. Like it's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
And if God graces me with one thing on Sunday, I want it to be a Detroit Lions win. If he really loves me and he wants to grace me with 2 things, it would be a Ben Johnson turnover on a trick play. Nothing else would make my day. I have been pleading and begging for a pick 6 or a defensive score at home at Ford Field. Nothing would elate me more than the Detroit Lions sealing the deal on a Ben Johnson, some type of hook and lateral play or something weird, whatever it's going to be. I hope the Lions get that ball and they take it for the house call. Well, nothing would make my Sunday more than something like that happening, to just seal the deal. Like that was the dagger, the nail in the coffin was Ben Johnson trying to be too cute and get back in the game. It backfires. Kirby Joseph pick 6, whatever it may be. Well, I need it to happen. The roof of Ford Field will blow off of that place.
Steve, you just did something to me. I'm gonna let you know that. I can almost feel it right now. You got my heart beating fast. Like, yeah, that was that.
I could picture it. I could picture like the Lions being up 10, Bears with the ball. They're like, hey, let's try to get a gadget play in there. Let's try to get back in it. Pick 6. You went from being down 10 to now down 17. Late in the third, Will. I'm calling it. Something like that's going to happen.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I don't like it. I love it.
What else you got? What else is on your mind?
Honestly, I'm just eager for this game, Steve, because we can't go down 0-2. We can't go down 0-2. Now, do I think that the season is over if we did? I don't, but you're crawling out of a hole. Yeah. And the Green Bay Packers are not looking like they're going to slow down anytime soon. So we're already a little bit up against it right now with those guys being 2-0 and having a whole bunch of momentum. But the NFL, somebody asked me, or somebody texted me last night and they said, I got to ask you a serious question. Is the season over? I said, what? Like, the Green Bay looks good. They look good. And I said, absolutely not, man. A lot of things can happen over the course of an NFL season. You seen Jaden Reed last night, broke his collarbone. You seen what happened to us last season. The injury bug is going to come to Green Bay. They're a bunch of undersized, fast, freaky dudes, man. So the injury bug, attrition is going to get them at some point throughout this season. They will slow down. They will settle in. Teams will figure them out. Like I said, I still stand on it. I love what they're doing, and it's exciting and it's fun to watch, but teams will figure out how to attack them over the course of this season. They're not just going to run through the NFL all through the season and then through the playoffs and then go walk to a Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. I assure you, teams will figure them out. It's just new. No different than the Wildcat, Steve. Wildcat first came to the NFL. It was the greatest thing.
Cadillac Williams, baby.
Yeah, it was like everybody was adding it to their arsenal, and it's just going to be that. It's going to be hot for some weeks until teams figure it out and break it down and find the weaknesses, and then they're going to settle in, and then it's going to be a battle to see who's the best. So I'm just here for that. We just got to hang on until it's figured out. Starts with this Sunday.
William, I know that this is Chicago Bears game day episode, but it's a must win. All right. Yeah. I hate to say it. It's a must win. If you lose, your season is on life support. And I only say that because the next week, and I hate looking ahead, one game at a time. I know everyone's going to say one game at a time. Don't worry about next week. You got the Baltimore Ravens waiting for you on Monday Night Football, who lost last week, but they're still a top 5 team at home. Well coached. They're strong from top to bottom, from their number 1 to their number 53. They have a solid roster, and that's a team that we struggle against. Like, well, I know you're going to be there. I'm just looking at the schedule. Like, it doesn't ease up. We talked about this earlier in the year. Your welcoming gift, if you happen to lose to the Chicago Bears, hey, go take on the Baltimore Ravens. After that, you got the Cleveland Browns. Say what you want about them. They play damn good defense. We got the Buccaneers on the schedule. We got the Bengals on the schedule coming up. Like, I'm just looking at that 4 or 5 game stretch where wins are tough. And the Chicago Bears, they're coming in. They're not just going to roll over and just say, oh, yeah, we don't want the Lions to go 0-2. We'll let them win. Like, that's not the case. Their season's in the same exact boat. I don't know what their schedule is going forward, but this is a must-win game, Will, because the schedule is brutal for the Lions. You said it earlier in the year, no time to start slow. Like, we just don't have the time to start slow. We don't have time to sit back and try to get things figured out, like blocking and communications and little stuff like that should be already clicking and firing on all cylinders after training camp. So if we can get that cleaned up, we'll be fine, but we'll really get a good look at it on Sunday, Will.
Steve.
Don't call me nuts. I can't deal with it.
Steve. You're not nuts. You're not nuts. You're dead on. You're dead on. I can't get Sunday here quick enough. I need it. I need Sunday. And I need Sunday to be a party, Steve. I need it to be a party. I need it to be just us just taking the Chicago Bears coach and making him a sacrifice. I want
sacrifice at midfield.
Yeah. I want Monday morning. I want questions. Is Caleb Williams the guy? Did they make the wrong choice with the head coach? Is he really a genius? He looked like absolute garbage on Sunday and couldn't do anything. I got my Monday set in my mind, and I need it here immediately. I need the party on Sunday, and then I need I want to just be going and just looking at all of the Chicago articles. I just want to spend my Monday doing nothing but looking at press conferences in Chicago and articles of what happened. Detroit Lions are back. They are not the team that we thought they were, because everybody was jumping off of the bandwagon, Steve. It's like very lonely. I see you over there on the other end of the wagon. You got some real estate. I got my real estate, but a lot of people are gone, Steve. It's very spacious, and I don't know if I'm
get to the lifeboats last Sunday. Get to those lifeboats. Let's get off this ship. This baby's going down. It's week 1. This ship's sinking. There's no doubt about it. There's no help on the way. Well, I know. I saw it all too. Offensive player of the game. Who you got,
Steve? Steve, I gotta go with Jared Goff. Saying, hey, listen, you want to leave me? You want to leave me for somebody inside of my division? Watch me light it up. Watch me light it up. I don't want to do, like I said, I want the Chicago Bears coach to be standing on the sideline just doing this. Jared Goff. Jared Goff, offensive player of the game. He lights it up. Another one of those games where he's like, I don't know, 29-31, 3 tutties, and maybe he QB sneaks one in. I don't know. I don't know.
From what yard line? Give me the yard line he sneaks it in from. Be careful here.
The 1-inch line.
Okay, I was gonna say if you say he's gonna bust one off, QB sneak, like, are we talking like tush push or like QB draw from the 20? What are we talking about here, Will? Because what 1 yard line I can dig it. I feel like if there's anyone on offense who's pissed off about what Ben Johnson did, I listened to the St. Brown podcast the other day. St. Brown's fired up for him to come back. He wants Ben Johnson to just get dragged through the ringer. I want it to be louder than when Stafford came back in that playoff game a couple years ago. Boo Ben Johnson's family, boo his kids, boo his second cousin. If his kids got candy, it's our candy now. If they got ice cream, it's our ice cream now. If you got a snack, you got some nachos, my nachos now. Okay, that's how I want Ben Johnson to feel. Hostile environment, respectfully. But I feel like St. Brown, I don't think he likes losing. So I feel like he's going to have a big bounce back game. If you're picking Jared Goff, goes hand in hand. He's got to throw the ball to someone. Why not the guy who's going to catch a lot of passes? I'll say 9 catches, 161 in the air, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, Will.
Okay.
2 of those Jared Goff touchdowns going to St. Brown.
I like it. Steve, I got to tell you, you stole a question that I was going to finish on. I was going to ask you, do we boo the Chicago Bears coach when he comes out? But you answered
absolutely. Like from warm-ups to introductions, do not let that man have a peaceful moment here in Detroit. If we could get a hold of his hotel room, I think we should prank call it all night. Like, that's where I'm at, Will. Pull the fire alarms of the Chicago Bears hotel room. I do not want that man to have a peaceful moment. I want him looking over his shoulder, tired. Listen, I'm not threatening his life, but I want him to be as uncomfortable as possible while he's back in Detroit. I don't want to see him at Coney Island. I don't want to see him on the roulette table at Greektown having a good time. Misery the whole time that Chicago Bears bus or plane lands in Detroit. I want him looking over his shoulder thinking, there's hell coming. There's hell coming for me, Will. I do not want him to have a good time. Defensively, who you got?
Defensively, Steve, I gave him a hard time, so I'm going to stand on him. Him bouncing back. Jack Campbell. I want Jack Campbell to cause hell, man, because I had a couple of people do the same thing. A couple of people reached out to me on Facebook, and a couple of people text me like, "Man, why do you hate Jack Campbell?" I like Jack Campbell. When Jack Campbell, going all the way back to the University of Michigan, when he just decided he was just going to take over the game and make every single tackle against Michigan, he kind of got on our radar. We talked about it before.
Pissed me off.
Jack Campbell is a hell of a football player, but he has to dominate what he does well, which is stopping the run. I want to see him get physical in the run game. I want to see him get back to his rookie season when he was taking guards and putting them on their ass. I want to see him punch out a football. Sunday, I need big plays out of Jack Campbell. Gave you a hard time, man. Now make me look like an idiot, and I will get on here and apologize to you. Who you got?
I'm going Kirby. I already kind of tipped my hat. I think he's going to have a pick 6 on a big mistake by Ben Johnson trying to get too cute. If there's one thing I think I know about Caleb Williams, it's that he hasn't evolved as an elite passer yet. He's got elite arm. There's a difference between elite arm talent and being an elite passer. He's got elite arm talent. He can make every throw, very athletic. He does stupid things sometimes. Who's going to capitalize on that? I think Kirby Joseph playing some tricks with his eyes, trying to get him to look this way, but Kirby's going that way. I feel like Kirby's going to be playing the chess match with Caleb. Kirby's more experienced, has a little bit more big game times underneath his belt than Caleb. Veteran safety, second-year quarterback. I feel like that's the match I'm going to be watching. I think Kirby gets at least one. It's going to be a pick 6. But I also, man, I was calling this since Caleb Williams was drafted by the Chicago Bears, and we didn't get a chance to play him last year with Aiden Hutchinson healthy, but I would love to watch Hutch just do a celebration after Caleb Williams and just start painting them fingernails. We'll just start little toenail boy. I want a toe tag on Caleb Williams on Sunday. If I'm seeing his toes, it better have a tag on it. I don't care what color they're painted. All right. I want to see Hutch getting after Caleb Williams too. So that's my backup option there is Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson. Maybe he does what he does against Baker Mayfield last year where he had 3 sacks in a game. That would be phenomenal for me. That would silence a lot of critics too and help our defensive line in the long run.
Steve, I think it's time for my favorite part of the show.
Your least favorite part of the show. Score predictions?
Yeah.
All right. I'll go first. Because I know you hate it. Maybe I'll change your mind based on what you're thinking. Plain and simple, I just want to win. I'll give a score prediction, but that is really it. I don't care if it's 7-6, 3-0. I don't care what the score is. This is a must-win game. Schedule's brutal going forward the next 5 weeks. Wins are going to be there. I can't look at the schedule even before we play Green Bay and say that's a guaranteed win. We have some tough teams on our schedule. This is the NFL. Every team's great. The Chicago Bears have a lineup that's pretty impressive. They're growing. Just not sure they're there yet. Lions got their butts whipped last week. Maybe that's a Green Bay problem. We'll find out if it's a Detroit Lions problem. I'm kind of hoping that it's a Green Bay problem and they were just really, really good, and that's why we struggled in a lot of areas. But must-win game. I don't see the score getting rung up on this one. Well, I don't think we really are going to be blowing them out yet. I still think we got a lot of issues to fix, but I'll say 24-13. 24-13 Lions.
I like it. I like 24-13, but it's not enough. More points. More points, Steve. 31-17. 31-17. Listen, they scored 17 points last week. I think they scored 17 points again this week. I think Ben Johnson pulls a rabbit out of the hat for one score. Maybe that first scripted drive, maybe the first time they get the ball, they find a way to get a field goal. We stall them out, and they find another touchdown throughout the game. I am looking for the Detroit Lions to go bananas in this football game. Coach Mo is throwing the book at this Chicago Bears team. He's staying up late. He already gets to the facility at 3 a.m. He's probably getting there at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. this week. Steve, points from this offense, they're going to make a statement. I think Panay has probably held some type of team meeting where he's held everybody hostage and taught them the offensive scheme and told them if they don't understand it and if they screw up in this game, he's going to be making a sacrifice. The boys are going to be ready, Steve, locked, hungry, and they're going to score some points. I don't think that there's anything that can be done to stop these guys from running up this score. Again, if we get on here Monday and we got to talk about this not being able to block and all of the other stuff, I would be shocked, Steve. Shocked. So, yeah, 31 points, Detroit Lions, 17, if they're lucky.
Also, got to clear up the red zone stuff. Forgot to mention that. Real question. Does Isaac Tesla, also known as Mayotron, get another touchdown in this game?
Hey, listen. My pockets ain't that heavy. My pockets ain't that heavy. We already got a jersey coming. I bit the, because me and Steve go down the pipe on everything, but I bit the bullet on that one because I said what I said, and I'm gonna stand on what I said. But here's what I will say. Steve, and I'm putting you on the spot. If Steve's down to go halfsies with me
on another one,
and he scores again, we're gonna do it again. It'll be 2 jerseys instead of 1. Get
two
Isaac
Tesla jerseys.
Yeah, and if he gets to the end zone again, we'll do another one because it looks like Steve gave the nod. So we'll have 2 of them.
I'm in. We'll wait to do the Isaac Tesla jersey until we see what happens Sunday, because we might be doing 2 of them. Maybe we do a home and away. Maybe we can get a custom black one. We'll see what some options are. Big game, must win. Got to come out strong. Home opener. Crowd's going to be wild. Can't wait to be there. Stick around. Hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.